Live streaming.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Weymouth Town Council Licence and Planning. Hello to any members of the public. Hello, Tom. Hello, sir. I think we'll go straight into item 1, which is apologies for absence. Apologies have been received from Councillor Orell and Councillor Dickens, who will be substituted by Councillor Joanna Dickinson. Anybody got any objections to this, or can we go straight to a vote? So, yeah, proposed by Councillor Taylor, seconded by. No, you can't. Councillor Young. All those in favour?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's unanimous. I've just got to ask for any declarations of interest regarding any of the items on the agenda tonight. I always think that's a leading question because we've all got interest.
No pecuniary interest.
No pecuniary interest. Quite correct. We go on to item 3, which is minutes of the last meeting. To approve the minutes of the last meeting held on the 18th of June as a true and accurate record. Has anybody got any problems with the minutes of the last meeting? If I could have a proposer and a seconder again, please. I'll propose by Councillor Young, seconded by Councillor Northam. All those in favour? And that's one abstention. Okay. I would just like to remind any members of the public that Weymouth Town Council acts as a consultee only with regards to planning and licensing matters, and that Dorset Council is both the planning authority and licensing authority. Therefore, the final decisions are made by them, and any representations by members of the public need to be made to Dorset Council. We can now go to, I think you'd like to bring up item 12. So with the committee's permission, I'd like to bring forward item 12 now, if you could, which is a traffic and calming parking restriction request. Request has been made to have the junction of Lessingham Avenue and Marlborough Avenue made safe by way of a site survey and planning with a view to modification at the junction for the purpose of road safety.
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
Thank you. Background is several years. The parking at the end of Lessingham Avenue where it joins Marlborough is unrestricted. And people on Marlborough Avenue have taken it upon themselves to park right on the edge of the junction where it meets Lessingham Avenue. So if you leave Lessingham Avenue in your car, your bicycle, there's no line of sight looking towards Portland, any oncoming traffic that's coming up here. So we have a situation where we drive onto Marlborough, but we inch onto Marlborough. We never drive onto. We literally inch by inch move towards the junction of Marlborough Avenue until we know that there's no traffic coming down Marlborough Avenue because there's no line of sight whatsoever. We get the advantage when there's cars coming down Marlborough Avenue because we know if they cut across us, we know there's no oncoming traffic from the Portland. So that gives us some confidence that we can leave Lessingham. That's conditional because, of course, if there is a situation where a bicycle or a motorbike travelling up from the Portland end of Marlborough, then that could be in between the traffic that we see, and again we could hit that. So, as you can see from that example, this is pretty much constant. The van that you see in the picture on the right-hand side consistently parks on the junction between Marlborough and Lessingham, and that blocks our line of sight when we leave the road. Historically, there is a electricity substation on the left of Marlborough, which is just out of sight on the left-hand picture. That didn't used to have bollards running down its side. People used to park on the electricity substation at the junction as well. The electricity board came in, they put bollards in on the side of their electricity substation to stop that happening because there were complaints about the positioning of that traffic as well. But that's only for people on that to actually park at the end of Lessingham, in addition to the problem we've got at the end of Lessingham. So we've just met with this problem every morning, every evening. It never really goes away. I've even got footage on my phone, happy to come off the ground, which is just a 6-second video, which I took this afternoon. This is completely coincidental, but I was just,
Want to hand it?
yeah, so I was waiting for traffic to appear. This is if anything would drive down the road. So as soon as I heard a van moving on car, I just started to film. It happens to be my neighbour. I didn't know it's for traffic until I filmed it.
Right.
That's a situation where we've got a car in the road instead of a van. But if you're in a car, you're relatively low profile. So it's difficult to see over the cars. But if there's that van, park, it's impossible.
Do you have the support of the ward council?
Yes, councillor Taylor has confirmed his support.
Yeah, I don't know who at the meeting here, who visited the site, if anybody did.
Councillor Taylor.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So myself and Councillor Top went down to visit the gentleman who raised this initial issue last Thursday. And I can completely see what it's coming from. That is an accident waiting to happen down there. Like I said, the way people are parked, you just cannot physically see. I mean, I parked up myself just a bit further down the road. Like yourself, just watched it for 5 seconds, and I wouldn't feel safe pulling out of that at any time of the day. Particularly, also the caravan park around the back as well. If people are getting the wrong directions on the sat nav, for instance, they're pulling down there and pulling back up. Like I say, it is an absolute accident waiting to happen. And it is dangerous, and I fully support this traffic measure that's been suggested. So thank you very much.
Gently, the person that was driving the van in that video, she's my next door neighbour, it's Michelle Glover, at 17, I think, around here. And I went and had a word with her just to say why I was down there. And she said, yeah, I didn't hear it 32 days ago. Came up that road, and hit them marginally, because people tend to accelerate if they've got.
Yeah.
If they're-
Councillor Northern.
Is it not against the highway code to park? I don't know what the distance is, but you might have looked it up.
I think it's 20 metres, probably.
So, you know, there's a
That-
failure to follow the highway.
Yeah.
Has it been reported to the police?
And they say there's nothing they can do. There is no deterrent for any individual to park.
So the members of the committee are asked to consider the request and decide whether the committee agrees for the request to be sent up to Dorset Council. I'd like to propose that would be. Do we have a second?
Can I ask first of all, Mr. Chair, what length of lines are we planning to store here?
Well, usually what happens is the highways lady, I think it's Dawn Heath, would come down and she would look at it.
Yeah.
She would obviously probably go with Councillor Taylor. I'm sure he'd invite you along. And then you go along and she would look and say, well, we'll do 10 metres, I think would be enough, or we need 5 metres.
Yeah.
You know, it's a decision then. That this request is for us to say,
I just wanted to clarify that. I
Yeah.
presume that there'll be something like that.
Yeah.
And the yellow lines be long enough just to deal with this problem.
And they still have to be, she can recommend 5, it still has to go through a process.
that's, this is the start
Yes.
for this gentleman. So, we have the proposer from Councillor Taylor. Do we have a seconder?
No.
Seconded by Councillor Young. All those in favour of it going up? That's unanimous. Thank you very much, Mr. Green. You've started the process.
Thank you.
I don't know how long it will take.
No, the very fact that it started is
Yeah.
is great news. It's been going on quite some time.
Yeah.
And we don't, I don't think we contact the person who has the van. But we believe that he also has a mobile home, entered there as well. So we end up with other issues.
No, that's the start of the process, and I'm sure Mr. Taylor will keep you informed.
Thank you very much.
So,
Shall I have my address with you?
Well, I would leave it with Mr. Taylor. Your contact number would be best, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Telephone number?
Yeah.
It's 07.
Yeah.
07547.
Yeah.
110.
Yeah.
292.
Yeah.
And if for any reason that fails or something happens to me, then I'm at 16 Lessing Avenue, which is at the end of Lessing.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming in person as well.
Thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome. Don't forget your top.
I leave it.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can now go on to item 5, which is planning applications for discussion. The first, councillor Orell asked us to talk about Curtis Fields. Did John get in contact with anybody as to why? I feel, I don't know why, he hasn't been in contact with me.
I asked myself, what are the changes that they're asking for? And there is a document which is called, I've opened it here, so it describes phases 2A, 3B, Loop Road, 189164. And it's the application for approval of reserved matters and a variation on those reserved matters. And it's because they've found subsidence on the proposed Loop Road and they want to move to Loop Road, which then affects a whole series of drawings. So my suggestion would be that that's a matter for officers to do,
Yeah.
not for us really
So
to take a view on.
it's a no objection from us.
So from my point of view, I would suggest an objection.
Right, so we could move this item into item 6, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you'll propose it, councillor Northern, to move it.
Yes.
Or I can say we haven't, because we've discussed it, I have,
Yeah.
we have no objection and it's for officers to,
Yes, you can say office to deal with
yeah,
detail.
yeah.
And then John's also asked if we could speak about Weymouth College.
Sorry, just going back, do we want to,
Have a vote?
yeah, I think we should,
Should, yeah.
sorry.
Proposed by councillor Northern, seconded by councillor Taylor. All those in favour, please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then he asked to speak about Weymouth College, Cranford Avenue.
Mhm.
Now the next two, he's stated his support.
So that, yeah. It's what
Yeah,
John
so
Northern
I
does.
think he just,
Yeah.
no objections. He supports both
With
applications.
applications, which is an improvement on the site for Weymouth College.
Yes, so the way we call is
Yeah.
I'd support no objection.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we should support the application.
And the second one that he would like us to support is Redlands Community Sports Hub. Does anybody have an objection to them improving the facilities
It's
for
really good
Weymouth?
news. So we should
Very good
support it.
news.
So same response, we support. the
Yeah,
application.
we support this
So
application.
if we could just take a vote on both of those, please, we can take them
Yeah,
both together.
So I'll propose the two. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Taylor, all those in favour? That's unanimous. And then we come to the ones that we usually receive shortly before legal dispatch. Does anybody wish to talk about these latest ones? 96 Preston Road, 107 Sutton Road, Kestrel View, Leeds Crescent, Wyvern School, Holy Trinity. No, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Does anybody wish to talk about any of those applications that came in late?
I haven't looked at the last one.
For Holy Trinity Primary School.
Yes, it talks about putting gates across the church passage in the application. It doesn't say whether those locked gates or any.
Where that is I think it's, as you go over the bridge.
Yeah.
The swing bridge, you go down
Yes,
and they want to put gates at the bottom. Do you know where the passage is?
yeah,
So it's as you go down and you can walk along. And I think they want to stop some of the homeless people that go down in there,
into the bit under the stairs.
under the stairs, yeah.
Okay,
This has been, I think we've had this before as well.
sorry,
Vic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, that's what that one is. So if I could have a proposal that we agree to no objection on all of these, or move them into item 6.
Yeah.
Which would be best, Nikki, for you?
Or to put them all in item 6.
6, yeah. Well, I'll propose that we move them all across into item 6. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Taylor, all those in favour of moving these applications into item 6? Thank you very much. We now go on to item 6. Does anybody have any views that are of any of the planning applications that are in item 6? No, so proposal we send through, what's the proposal that we're going to send through?
Proposal
Bill?
is to change from just the council has no objection to we support the application and raise no objection.
You want me to clarify why? It's
Well-
because the officer has recently interpreted no objection to not be a positive statement in favour. Okay?
Yeah.
So rather than argue, let's change the words.
Yeah. So if the committee are in agreement, we would like to change the wording for item 6. The planning applications are in item 6 to,
Right, got to go back to my notes.
yeah,
We support the application and raise no objection, or the council supports the application and raises no objection.
is everybody in agreement? Well, I'll propose it.
No, I won't this time.
Yeah.
For slightly different reasons.
Seconded by councillor Taylor. All those in favour, please? And that's unanimous. So all those planning applications in item 6, I'll propose that we do the new wording. Could I have a seconder, please? Yeah,
Well done, Lee.
well, seconded by councillor Harmsworth. All those in favour?
And I'm going to abstain.
Yeah. And the one abstention. Okay. That's right, we've covered the wording now and covered item 6, haven't we?
Yeah.
We now move on to item 7, which is tree-related planning applications. Does anybody have any concerns or raise any objections to item 7?
I had a phone call today to do with Radipole Lane, where a lady was worried about the state of some of the trees, and I see that some of these relate. So I will pass back to her.
Yeah.
These are on the. They may not be the specific trees that she was, at least it shows something's happening.
So we can go with the normal recommendation then. Do we have to have a vote again on that?
Just to
Yeah.
cross
Well,
the T's and dot the I's. yes,
yeah,
please.
I'll propose it. Do I have a seconder for the normal? Yeah, seconded by councillor Taylor. And that the committee agrees the standard response wording, Weymouth Town Council supports this application. However, requests that at least 2 climate change tolerant trees are planted in lieu of each tree that is proposed to be removed for the above tree related planning applications. Okay, all those in favour? There you go. Thank you very much.
And we do have a new tree
Tree
preservation
preservation order that's come about on land on 528 Littlemore Road. Members are asked to consider the details of the provision tree order detailed in Appendix A and agree any comments to be submitted to Dorset Council. Does anybody wish to talk on this one? Anybody? No? We can just move forward, can't we? Because it's
Yeah, we have no comments to make.
no. Item 9, licensing, enforcement, appeals and phone mounts licensing. Application for a review of a premises license.
There was an item 8. But it says none, so that's why you moved on.
Yeah. Yeah. We would-
Oh, right, yeah, no.
Item 8, nothing. Item 9, licensing enforcement. Dorset Council has received an application for review of the premises licensing for the above premises, Eats and Drinks Weymouth. Have we all had a good look at this one? This is where the police have put in an application to review this establishment's license. Do you know about it?
It was on the Echo recently.
Yeah. I mean, we are asked to agree any comments to be submitted to Dorset Council regarding the above application, taking into account the 4 licensing objections and the information available within the application.
We, ward member, may know more about this.
Yeah.
We don't have a ward member here for this.
The police have obviously got information, otherwise they wouldn't put it up.
But we can't add to it.
No, all I would say, I support the police in any action they do in the prevention of crime. If they feel it. I mean, the police no longer have confidence in it.
It's ultimately, to make some confidence in it, then.
Something to have seen again, yeah.
Yeah. So would Weymouth Town Council like to support this review? Yes, yeah. So we have a proposal that Weymouth Town Council support this review and await further information. Yeah. Yes. Do we have a seconder for that, please? Yeah, seconded by councillor Young. All those in favour? Any objections? Any abstentions? We now come to appeals. Notice of appeal, 98 Belgrave, Weymouth. Conversion of parish to create 1 residential unit. An appeal has been made. Would anybody like to comment on this?
Do we remember what we said a year ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is in the,
Text, is it?
it is in the text somewhere.
Weymouth.
You got it, David?
No objection to the
Yeah.
proposal.
We had no objection.
Objection? No. Shall we say that Weymouth Town Council continues with its previous comments? Of no objection? Yeah,
Yeah, and if we could just,
have a proposer and a
Yes.
seconder, please. Would anybody like to propose it? Proposed by councillor Taylor, seconded by councillor Harmsworth. All those in favour? Any abstentions? 1 abstention. We now come to the second notification of appeal, Higher Manor Farm, Littlemead, Weymouth. Change of use of land to site 2 holiday lodges and associated works. What did we decide on this one?
just scrolling down to it, but this laptop is very temperamental. Planning application was considered by Planning and Licensing Advisory Committee on 7th November 2023. At that time, the council had no objection. However, it was felt that clarification was necessary regarding footpaths. Dorset Explorer showed public footpaths running through the site. The committee believed that this was inaccurate and that Dorset Explorer should be updated to reflect this.
Yeah, you remember it? Yeah. Yeah, this is the one where Graham Winter, when it first came up, he said, this is what all this planning will lead to. I don't know if you can remember that one. Yeah. So what's the feelings on this one, guys?
Do we know why? Can we look up why Dorset Council refused it?
Yeah.
Sorry for not having done so previously.
No, just bear with me a moment. Yeah, to get it's going to play ball with me.
Decision notice.
Last one.
Just say when you want me to scroll down some more.
I seem to remember the buildings were there already. We just checked, but the buildings are already there, we changed the appearance, change the usage of those buildings. Issue.
I mean, this is your ward, isn't it?
Yeah, it's me and Tim, I know where it is, and it is
Is it the old pub?
no,
Not through there?
no,
No.
it's a field where they currently have had things like tents. I think that one, we could look it up, just to be sure. On the original application. I can understand why Dorset Council has taken that view. I think it's different to the one in Little Mead that you're referring to.
Yeah.
Okay. But Jeff, could we just pull up the map and confirm ourselves which property? Thank you. So there ought to be a plan in there somewhere. And then the proposed site plan A or the design and access statement.
Okay.
Yeah. So to the right of the existing buildings, but everything on apart from the building in the bottom right, the else is not its farmland or land that's being used for temporary camping or whatever. So these are the two units that are being discussed. So do we wish to change? So we raised no objection initially. And the council have refused because of the impact on the landscape.
So. Tim, David, it's your wards?
I shall wait for the appeal to be discussed at the council.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I've got no comment at the moment.
No? So do we stick with our original comment of no objection? Or do we support Dorset Council in their objection? Right then, moving on then, I'll propose that we have no objection. Do I have a seconder for that? Yeah, seconded by councillor Young, and that we await the outcome of the appeal decision.
Just that we're sticking with our
Yeah,
original.
yeah. So all those in favour? Any objections? Any abstentions? One abstention. We have no phoners. We can now move on to item 10. There are none. Item 11. Public's rights of way consultation, proposed extinguishment of part of footpath 131. Would anybody like to talk on this item?
Happy to talk about it. and I did look at the files. It's worth pulling up the map, which is accessible.
This the one?
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So if you, can I go on point?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Um, so here is Bradford School, and here is the school playing field. This is the entrance driveway. Members of the public aren't allowed in here. This is now for staff and the necessary works traffic. So, these footpaths in there a while. This footpath here is the one that's proposed to be extinguished. Okay? And that would mean that people would walk and around and back round. So you can no longer approach the school from here. This leads to another footpath which will lead eventually to the new developments of Redlands. But you can also get to up through Court Road. The other bit is they're proposing to move this footpath here. Sorry, move this footpath here to here. But it runs along the boundary and will be fenced off from the actual school, Right. Okay, and the reason for this is because of protection concerns about the school, because the footpath effectively runs through this. This is the main school building, this is the school playing field. You can see into the school playing fields on this footpath, which is proposing to close. It's being diverted here. What you're not encouraging is people to walk across, because that's quite a nice route down to the church. So people use that footpath, and the main issue is that there are dog owners using the footpath, and the dogs are sometimes off lead. There are dogs which have been seen that are off lead, and some of the children are concerned, parents are concerned for their children, and so on. So on the file, the school have kept a file of incidents, and the incidents includes a number of incidents where dogs were seen. The other thing that has occurred is a gentleman was observed looking into the playground. That's on the list of concerns, okay? Another thing that is in the file is to support the concerns about protecting the children is that some of the children have protection orders, and there have been related people coming up to here because it's a public footpath and they can, and the idea is that they don't make contact with children, and yet through that medium they could. So those are the reasons why it's being appealed. Sorry, why it's being proposed, why the footpath running through the school is being proposed to be extinguished. This footpath be rerouted.
I take it you're the ward. Are you the ward?
I'm the ward member.
Yeah.
So
Do you support this?
I haven't decided yet because I need to listen to the viewpoints that come forward at the meeting. So what I'm presenting is the background to this rather than a conclusion myself. I've had a number of residents ring me up saying they're concerned about the loss of this footpath and asking, if you like, is this the only way forward? Are there other things that might be done rather than losing this footpath? And they've made suggestions to me about nobody's ever put a sign up about keeping your dogs in the lead. If you go through a field, you often see signs up saying, please keep your dog on a lead when there are animals in the field. There are no such signs around here. There I don't know whether there's a possibility that the footpaths could be closed during school hours. Remember, the school hours are quite a small part of the year. So this footpath for all the evening and stuff like it would be lost. So there are arguments both ways at the moment, and I haven't heard the officer put forward their view yet, because that doesn't come until later. So you're working really at this stage on what's being presented in this alteration.
May I ask, where's the boundary fence to the school?
But the
Are the children allowed onto that playfield unsupervised at break time?
I can't be precise about that,
Yeah.
but there is separate fencing around the playground
Yeah,
to the school.
because I would ask whether it's possible to fence that on both sides, which farmers seem to be able to do when they don't want you on treading on their field. So you go through a corridor between fences.
Yeah.
Which could be closed during school hours. There must be other possibilities, because that seems that the valuable resource that footpath, because any diversion is a long way round.
So I'm swayed by the ward members. I mean, it's, what do you want Weymouth Town Council to say?
Well, I'm not going to, I'll say one other thing, that this change is being brought in under a special clause on footpath legislation.
Thank you.
This change is being brought in under a special clause on footpath legislation. Normally you can object to the change because it takes you more out of your way. You can normally object because it's not as nice to walk on the changed route as it was the original. You lose some value of walking on the footpath. But under the regulations which have been introduced recently, in order to protect children, those two particular clauses don't exist.
Right. So as a committee,
I'd just like to, if I may say, Jim, knowing St Nicholas and St Lawrence, just up the road there, they have a footpath on two sides of that school. So this actually goes through the middle. I'm not sure how different it is.
well, we've been asked for our comments.
Yeah, I think our comment is to be able to see some alternatives before we can decide on this. It's fairly drastic to just close that footpath. We need to look at anything else that could be done.
Right, hold it there, so see if Nicky can get that.
We need to see some alternatives before making a comment.
Yes.
Need to see what else can be done.
I think we feel that loss of that footpath is a serious loss of amenity, because closure will mean a long way around. So we need
Hang on,
alternatives.
hang on, she's on
Sorry.
It's a footpath,
Yeah.
be significant loss of amenity.
So if you could read out the comment, the proposed, see if we can agree on that.
Still nothing. Okay, so the proposal is that Weymouth Town Council needs to see some alternatives before making a comment. It needs to see what else can be done. The loss of this footpath would be a significant loss of amenity, as the diversion is a long way round.
So Councillor Young,
Yeah,
propose that, yeah? Does he have a seconder? Councillor Taylor, all those in favour of the proposal? Any abstentions? Sorry. And one abstention. Right, thank you. We can now move on to item, straight to item 13 now, okay?
We've done item 12,
Well, item 13,
traffic regulation numbers we haven't done.
any? Item 14 are information items. Does anybody like to talk about these information items that have been put forward to us? Right, we can go on to the verbal update will be provided by councillor Northern.
So, the neighbourhood plan committee has been meeting more regularly than once a month in order to progress the analysis and determination of how to move forward on the policies in the neighbourhood plan. We group the policies into three levels of complexity, green, amber and red. And we've dealt with the green ones, we've dealt with the amber ones, we're now with the red ones. And the red ones are those for which we've received most comments, of course. That's why they're more complex. And we're intending addressing those in July and the early part of August.
On a note, have we seen this, the survey in December? Have those results been released yet?
No, those results haven't been released yet.
7 months.
Yes. And as was explained previously, we look to release the results along with the determination as to what we've done about it. It will all be published in due course.
Right. And will you answer councillor O'Leary's email?
I already have responded.
Oh, right.
And I've received a response from him. And I will share that with you
Thank you very much.
on a councillor to councillor basis.
Yes, yeah.
Not really.
Right. And emergency items.
We have a couple.
We have a couple of emergency items.
Just going to pull up the first one. 17. So this is an application that we were notified of just a couple of days ago. It wasn't in time to get onto this agenda. Unfortunately, the deadline for comments falls before the next Planning and Licensing Committee meeting on the 13th of August. The planning officer unfortunately could not give us an extension, hence it's coming as an emergency item this evening.
You remember this one, don't you?
So, yeah,
I'm surprised the planning officer couldn't give us an extension. Given that the next planning and licensing meeting is on the 25th of July, and there are only 2 items on the agenda, and the following planning and licensing meeting is some months later. So
when I refer to Planning and Licensing Committee, I'm talking about we couldn't get it on the agenda for our next advisory Planning and Licensing Committee,
when is our next one?
13th of August.
Yeah, I'm still a little surprised
Yeah.
because I don't anticipate the Dorset Council viewing this until later in the year.
This plan came up. I mean, we were on this plan, you were on this committee then,
Yeah.
Tim. Do you remember Harry's old nightclub? We said they wanted to build 6 flats and we said, where are they expected to store
Yes, I
anything?
remember this well.
So
Yeah.
we put up an objection about there's no bin storage, there's no cycle storage.
Yeah.
It doesn't give the people who are going to live there anything to put anywhere.
And I seem to remember they were so small, I'm not even sure there was room for people to live.
Yeah.
Is that why there's a report called preliminary rooster appraisal?
Yeah. And
So if I grab the.
so obviously they withdrew that application and now they've put this one in, which might provide, I'm hoping, a ground floor area.
I think councillor Orwell emailed the committee a little earlier today to say that it looks as if, well, he feels that they've addressed the issues.
So
6 was very tight, I remember, and this is 4.
this is 4.
And I think we said at the time, or the committee said at the time, that it could support a reduction to 5.
So they've gone one less. So, I don't have any objections to this now. I'm pleased that the applicant listened to the views of this council, which I think is very good and shows that we do make a difference. And I would say, as the ward member has no objections, I certainly don't have any objections. And I'll propose that we have no objections to this new plan. Do I have a seconder, please? Seconded by councillor Young. All those in favour? Any abstentions? Abstention. And then we come to the second emergency item.
Yes, so a little earlier today. So I emailed you all a little earlier. This is about the Environment Agency briefing regarding the Powerfuel Portland Limited application for a permit to operate an energy from waste incinerator on Portland Port. Weymouth Town Council has recently been made aware of the Environment Agency briefing regarding the Powerfuel Portland Limited application for a permit to operate an energy from waste incinerator in Portland Port. The council is being asked to comment on the draft permit document and the draft decision document that have been sent to you all via email. Please note that the draft decision document is just that, a draft, and no decisions have been made by the Environment Agency. You may recall that Weymouth Town Council and Portland Town Council previously joint funded a report from Threads, and this was submitted as the council's objection to the application for an environmental permit. The briefing has been sent to you as information only at this stage and will be put before full council on the 31st of July for a response to be agreed.
Can I ask a point of information? I don't believe the inquiry has reported yet. Or has the inquiry now?
There's two parts to this, isn't there? There's the planning application
Yeah.
appeal.
Yes, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah, I've not seen anything regarding that, but then on the other side of that, you've got the environmental permit application.
I have sent round a letter that I would like to go forward. But as I won't be at the full council meeting on the 31st of July, I can't be there, so I'll try and get one of my colleagues to push up. But I have sent it out to everybody because I've been working with ex-councillor Bergman, who's been doing a lot of research into this. And it's there for you all to look at.
You've sent it to me.
Oh, you haven't forwarded it on? No. It will be forwarded.
It
on
will
to
be
you.
forwarded tomorrow, yes.
So this is for information.
Information only at
Yeah.
this stage, yeah.
At this stage, yeah. So as long as we're all aware. Okay,
I think-
nobody else has got any other emergency items? I think we can call the meeting to a close. Thank you very much.